Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you how I made this really sweet little Japanese inspired note card. This is really quick and easy to make and it's really effective, as you can see. So I thought I would show you how I'd created it. Before I get into the video, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you would hit the subscribe button and help my channel grow. And if you do enjoy this video or find it useful, please give it a massive thumbs up as well. So for this card, I used the stamp set that was in the latest issue of Creative Stamping magazine. This is called Japanese Dreams and it's by Paper Discovery. It's a really lovely set. So I'm going to be using this on today's card. Depending when this video goes up, there might be a new issue out. I'm not really sure when this video will be going up, but anyway, this is the current issue at the moment. I'm going to be working on a really small little card. This measures a 4x4. This is by Craft UK. I really like their card blanks, but you can use whatever you have. And to start with, you're going to need to cut a circle out of a scrap piece of card. Now, mine just happened to match the 4x4 quite well, but you can do it as big or small as you want. The circle that I have cut out measures about 3 inches, but again, use whatever you have. So let's move my card off to the side. I'm going to show you how I did this. So I'm going to be placing the aperture over the top of my card blank, and then I'm going to hold it down with some good old-fashioned washi tape. But before I put that in place, I'm also going to get an offcut of card and I'm going to put it just underneath so that if for any reason the ink bleeds this way, it doesn't get on the back of my card. So I've chosen a washi tape that I know is particularly low tack, so it's not going to rip anything. I'm just going to put it down here. And I'm going to tape 3 of the sides. So I'm going to put it on the top and the bottom and the side. Okay, now that's in place, I'm going to bring in my blending brushes because we're going to do some ink blending. Now, if you find the foam applicators easier to use, absolutely use those. You can use whatever you have. I just find these easier. And I'm going to be using 3 distress inks today, and that's all. So I'm going to start with Abandoned Coral. If you don't have Abandoned Coral, use whichever ones you have that you think will look nice. And I'm going to start off just going around the outer edges of my circle. I'm not going too far in. Just going to go around the outer edges. Now, if you were batch making these, you would definitely need to make sure that the ink was dry around the edges before you started a new one, because obviously the ink will pull in from the sides and you'd have contamination. But there has been several hours between me making these cards, so the ink on the side is well and truly dry. I'm not going to get any contamination. It's all good. I did do this technique last year as well, kind of almost a year to the day, I think. And I again was using stamps from Creative Stamping magazine. I used the racing car ones last time and the polar bears. Really nice sets you get with Creative Stamping, I have to say. Now, we're not going to go all the way around the circle. We're just going to do about 3/4 of it. Just taper it off slightly here. But this is just a different take on the technique, so I thought I would share. Now I'm going to switch into Carved Pumpkin. So I'm kind of doing almost a sunset type effect. And now I'm switching to spiced marmalade. And this one will just be the tiniest of touches. There won't be much of a hint of this one. That's all the ink blending I'm going to do for now, so I can remove my pieces of card. There we go. So now we're going to stamp our main image onto the card. So I'm going to use my stamping platform to do this, just in case I need to give it more than one pass. Now, personally, on my platform, I keep a piece of scrap paper on here so that when I'm doing off the page stamping, I don't get any contamination on the mat below, because otherwise it kind of sinks back into the card, if that makes sense. So I like to keep a piece of scrap paper handy. I'm going to use this circle one again because I think it looked really effective last time. And I'm going to offset this slightly. So I'm going in the middle. I'm going to leave almost like a crescent moon. So I'm not going directly in the middle, I've left a crescent moon, and then I'm going to ink this up. I'm using my favourite, this is VersaFine Black Onyx ink. I love this for stamping with. Happy with that. I don't think that needs another pass, so let's take this down and I'll clean my stamp up. I'm going to bring in the Dream and the Happiness sentiment stamps that were part of the set, and I'm going to stamp them one on top of the other on the side. So they're not right up against the score line, but they are in line with each other, and this Happiness one is ever so slightly overlapping the black line of our circle here. So we're almost done, and now we're going to be bringing in the Blossom stamp that was in the set. So this is the stamp I'm going to be using, and I'm going to position it on the top of the image. It's overlapping the original inked base slightly. The actual bark is off the page completely. I'm just going to put it around till I'm happy. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a coloured ink to stamp this on the card. So I'm using this pink. Now this came with Papercraft Society. They're not named, so I really couldn't tell you which box it came in, unfortunately, but it is a really hot pink. It's absolutely beautiful, and for me, when I think of Japanese cards, I think pink blossoms, but you could use whatever you have as long as it's an ink that can stamp in detail. So maybe a hybrid ink or a pigment ink is best to do this. And I'm only going to ink up the very bottom of my stamp because that's all that's going to be on the page. And this is why I have my scrap sheet of paper down. So all the pink ink that has gone off the page is now not soaking into my black stamping mat. Okay. Just going to give that another press in the corners. Beautiful. So before I do any more, I'm going to clean this off really well so I don't get any ghosting. and I'm going to position this on the bottom now. Again, I'm using the top piece, I'm keeping it in the same orientation, and I'm just going to use the very top of the stamp. So it just frames the card nicely and it gets rid of some of that white space. And then as just a little finishing touch, I'm just going to use the very edge of the stamp and put it in the middle here. There we go. Isn't that pretty? And then the final finishing touch for the card is with Nuvo drops. So I am using the Autumn Red Crystal drop, and I'm just going to put 5 evenly spaced small drops around that crescent moon that we created. So I'm going to start at the top and work my way around. And then if I just tap the back of the card, I've seen our Melvin do this, and she says it helps the Nuvo drops to form and keep their shape. So just give it a little tap tap, and then I can set that off to dry. Just fold the card now. And there you go. How pretty is that? Really quick, really simple, really easy, and super effective. I think that's really lovely and a nice little card to be able to pop in some happy mail or to give to someone as a little thank you note. So all that's left to do now, once those Nuvo drops are dry, is to stamp the sentiment inside and you've got your finished card. So I hope you found this video useful. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you give it a go, please do tag me on social media. I will leave my socials in the description box of this video. If you don't have this stamp set, you can use any set you do have. This is a really versatile technique and it will work with literally anything. Thank you so much for watching today. I really hope everyone is happy and well. If you're not already subscribed, please do hit subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you get told when I put up my videos. And if you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. I will be back soon with more videos. So until next time, take care and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.